and I think we are live. We're certainly live on Twitch.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Those Aren't Biscuits. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Cadet, and with me, as always, is Owen Man. Take me by the hand, lead me to the land which you understand. It's Owen Adams.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing all right.
So technically,
I've had that song stuck in my head for fucking like a week.
We are live on Twitch. We aren't actually live on YouTube right now. I don't really know why that's working. Why that isn't working. Hello.
Right, well,
can you hear us? Streamed 51 seconds ago. No views. All right.
So that failed.
Yeah, thanks, YouTube. This is working out great. Well, let's just see. We could stop and attempt to start again, but that would kind of screw up the Twitch one, which is working great.
Yeah, well, let's do that since most of our audience right now is still on YouTube. So.
Okay, well, let's just give it a second. I just want to see if we can just see if it's gonna just configure it a little bit. If I can just get into the streaming, the what they call the live dashboard, that might actually be working okay. And if it's not live there yet, we'll disappear. Okay, it is sort of live on YouTube. I should be able to get a link to it. Hooray! It's working. I think it's working.
Yay!
Yay! We're live. Okay, there we go. It is actually working now. We didn't have to restart. We are actually live. Hello. How are you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing all right. And okay. Well, now that I got live, I got some links I'm going to share real quick. But yeah, this is a special episode because
a very special episode.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of these like very special episodes lately, haven't we?
Because we're very special people.
It is true. Yeah. You're all special.
I believe in us.
Whenever I hear someone mention that, like, oh, we're special, blah, blah, I always think of, I think I've told this before, but first year of college econ class, my teacher walks in and writes on the board, doesn't say a word, just writes on the board and says, I am not Mr. Rogers and you are not fucking special to me.
Gee whiz.
Then turned around and introduced himself. And I was like, okay. Well, that's how this is going to be. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I am either, but damn.
Right. I mean, that's a professor with a worse attitude than the students, right? At that point. Right.
Well, then he did this thing where, like, he went through each and every one of us and asked us what we were majoring in, and then just said yes or no to whether or not we would have a job by the time we finished college.
Oh, he sounds lovely.
Based on economy. So we were like, oh, nursing, yes. Accounting, yes. One's like said something like childhood education, and he's like, maybe. And just, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, we're paying our money. Just let us be.
Well, it's like that. We have that TV show here, The In-Betweeners, which is about high school students, but how they actually are as opposed to how they see themselves, you know? Like,
right.
And there's the movie they did where they all go away for a gap year holiday after they graduate from school.
Mm-hmm.
And the opening dialogue, the opening scene is the head of the school year seeing them off for their final year and saying, and what I just want to finish to say is, I absolutely do not want any of you to pop back and see me in the summer holidays or during your first year to tell me how much you've grown as a person. Which, great. Hello in the chat to Sinister Minister, Rob Chaosity, Chicken Leeser, and Luz Connor. How you doing? Welcome. No, Lewis, you are not dreaming. We are doing a special episode of Those Aren't Biscuits.
Yes. And in just a second, we will explain why.
Well, I will
Or just,
say, I can already tell you another reason why it seems to be a little special. Discord isn't screwing up and disconnecting us every
Whoa.
well, okay. Yeah.
Give it time. Give it time.
I will give it time. It takes a lot of time. So yeah, talk us through it, John. I'll let you talk us through it because you're the instigator. You're the fire starter, twisted instigator.
Twisted parcel sender.
I'm a parcel sender.
Crazy parcel. Oh, that could be bad, actually.
So, Mr. Cadet, you say you're not related to the mad international bombing scheme making headlines around the world. But we have this audio tape. Yeah. I'm a parcel sender, twisted president. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, does this sound like a sane man?
Well, he could be just making a joke. Oh, we also happen to have over 1,000 hours of other audio clips that suggests he is not sane.
And it's just clips of me going, "You're a terrorist, John." No, I'm not. Pretty sure you are.
No, I'm not.
As you can see, this person who knows him well enough to have worked with him for over 4 years clearly believes he is a terrorist. And then you'd say the one thing that years later you would regret, you know, as the final moment for your defense. Come on, get Owen in here. He'll back me up.
And that's where it all went wrong.
The jury was on your side until then.
As I'm chiseling away my wall in my prison cell, you know, with my poster of Rita Hayworth, all I can think of is like, I'm gonna get that, Owen. Oh, the lawyer would look into the jury and find the one person wearing like the Harry Potter scarf, you know. It's like, and what about this clip? You're not special. You're not going to fucking Hogwarts.
What do you feel, foreman of the jury, John Attenborough? I never said I was a relation. I said no relation several times.
No, okay. So let me explain. Last year, Owen sent me a box full of British snacks and foods that I hadn't tried before, and I wanted to return the favor.
And they were all delicious.
Most of them were all right. I won't lie. Most of them were all right. Now the problem is because of how pervasive and tendril-like American capitalism is. It's actually kind of difficult to come up with things that you just absolutely can't find in the UK. But I think I managed to. Well, we'll get into it when he opens the box, but I did my best.
You Karen talking, and I'll start opening the box.
Okay.
It's quite a large box. It's some magnitudes larger than the box that I sent John. I managed to get all mine in a jiffy bag.
Well, I mean, the truth is, I think I probably could have fit most of mine in there, but there was stuff that I didn't want to get like crushed and whatnot.
Yeah, most of my stuff was pretty solid. I sent when I did the Secret Santa to Masty up, I sent in a little bit of a bigger box because I had like crisps in there.
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna. I've seen a few things on. I'm not really looking, so I'm gonna like reach in a bit at a time with my bare hands. So are we ready? Should we do this?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Okay.
I hope you like them.
All right.
I kind of hope you don't.
But... Okay. Well, first we have. It's quite a large bag actually. It is root beer barrels.
Yes.
Hard candy, which has, I think, quite like a disclaimer you never see here in the UK. naturally and artificially flavored. So we're covering all the flavor sauces this time.
It's a universal flavoring system.
I am also thrilled to announce that John has obtained a product that the packaging absolutely informs me is great value.
So that is the brand that is the Walmart brand, essentially.
Right. Like the Savers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have stuff like that.
Or have you seen the packaging from Canada where it's like just these like blank yellow boxes of things?
Yeah, we have stuff like that. We have
I fucking love that packaging.
The supermarket I used to work for, they have a brand called Savers, and the packaging's like it's all white and then the writing's in orange because that's the color of the supermarket. And then that used to be it for a while, and then they started writing little slogans on the toilet paper. It says a little less smooth, still absorbent. And they just have these slightly disparaging slogans on everything. Like
yeah, that would never fly here in the US.
The chocolate chip cookies. The chocolate chip cookies say slightly less chips, still tasty.
That would never ever happen in the US.
Less of something.
Every company is the best. Right? It's like we're cheaper and we're fucking better.
Sinister Minister says so. It's an unboxing video without the video, and then Chicken Lisa says that's original. Yeah, well we're an audio show. Or I'm gonna try these.
Okay.
I should say I don't love root beer.
Well, see, and that was the thing. Like, I remember you saying that root beer isn't very common over there.
No, well, that flavoring, what do they call it? Wintergreen? Is it that one?
Good God, no.
No, what is the flavor of root beer?
It's root.
Root. And beer.
No, it's like an herbal thing. Like it's supposed to taste like a collection of herbs and sugar.
Right. Well, root beer to me tastes like how we flavor mouthwash.
That sounds delicious.
I can actually smell in the bag. I can smell the root beer. I've been drinking Pepsi, so this will be good. They're actually shaped like little barrels, but not very much once you get them open.
No. It's barrel hinted, you know.
All right, it's going in.
Gross.
I might have to eventually start chewing one. Yeah, this to me is the flavor of the dentist. You know when you go to the
really interesting to me. Like,
you know when you go to the dentist and they give you like here it's usually like bright pink, but they give you like a special mouthwash that's like special industrial mouthwash you never get anywhere else.
Sure, yeah.
This is what it tastes like here. This flavor. That's exactly what it tastes like.
Oh, see, like here, that flavor is bubblegum. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like when they give you that like pink shit to swish around, it's usually like flavored like bubblegum.
Sinister Minister sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know these are not unpleasant though?
No, they're pretty good. I actually enjoy them. There was a candy I wanted to get my hands on and send you, but I didn't think it was as seasonal as it is. But it's these little, and they're disgusting. Okay, but there's these little strawberries that come in like a little strawberry package, and they're hard candy on the inside, but they have like a little jelly on the inside. And for all my life, I thought they were supposed to be raspberry. So someone goes, "No, those are strawberries." Really? Because they don't taste like either. But like I made the connection that they were raspberries closer than strawberries.
So are these like hard all the way through?
Yes, those are hard all the way through. Like me.
You better keep the conversation going then, because this is gonna.
Yep. Well, I mean, like you could always like spit it out or set it off to the side for a bit.
Oh yeah. I'm giving it its time though.
Just keep on sucking.
So I wouldn't want to drink something that tastes like this. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm not a huge fan of root beer.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm actually convinced that because of how much syrup and sugar is in real root beer, that if you like spill root beer on like the counter and don't clean
and just let it dry.
it does become that. So I'm sort of convinced that root beer barrels are just root beer that they pour into molds and then like heat.
Mm. So the thing about a drink like this, I don't really like because it does have that mouthwash consistency. But as a sweet, the kind of refreshing element of it cuts through the, like the clagginess of sucking on a sweet. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I quite like that. No, I quite like these. These are pretty good.
Oh, they're all yours.
Oh, sorry. Until I said that, were you gonna want the bag sent back?
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm coming back. But yes, hello everyone in chat. If you're over in Twitch land, I don't have that chat up, but if you're over there, hello.
There's nobody over there.
Oh.
Twitch. I did a stream this morning, and my busiest chat was Mixer. Apparently.
Strange.
Yeah, I was doing Prison Architect, because that's just gone free on gold.
Okay.
Oh, just quick thing in the chat. Can you guys hear John as well as you can hear me and stuff? Just feel free to update me.
Oh yeah, we didn't really do that. But yeah, like root beer barrels are kind of one of those candies that are just always there in a weird way. Like until I bought that bag to send you, I don't think I've ever bought a bag of root beer barrels, but I eat them all the time. They just appear. It's
oh, I know what you mean.
And like butterscotch discs. Like those two candies just seem to just show up.
By butterscotch discs, do you mean like Werther's Original?
No, like imagine that candy you're sucking on right now, but butterscotch flavored.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It's all right. I don't particularly care for butterscotch. I think it's the worst of the pudding flavors.
So I just did a quick Google image search of root beer barrels, and I saw exactly what I expected, which is there's like a million different brands.
Yeah.
But they all look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. But each one is supposed to be like, tastes like actual A&W root beer, tastes like Dad's root beer. They all taste the fucking same. Like,
yeah, like root beer.
There's no difference in root beer barrels. Like there's a Tiny Best Secret asks, YouTube didn't show me you were live. Stupid YouTube. What's delicious? Owen's eating a root beer barrel right now.
I'm eating a root beer barrel. It's a boiled sweet that tastes like root beer. So far, pretty good. Actually, it's nice. It was the thing where I actually thought when I put it in that I'd have the same sort of reaction to this as I did as you did to the Parma Violets,
Right.
Like, this is not meant to be a sweet flavor, but this is way nicer.
The problem with the US when it comes to candy is that it's all kind of good. Like there's no real like outwardly terrible candy that everyone agrees is terrible. Like black licorice, I would say maybe the closest. But I mean, you have black licorice there.
Yeah.
Like black licorice is like a global thing I've discovered.
Here we call it African American licorice.
Oh God.
Sorry, that was inappropriate.
You don't want to know what we called it before the 50s. But a Time Best Figure says, "Cool. Where'd you get those?"
From America.
Yeah.
We're doing a special episode.
These are all special episodes. And there is another reason why I sent this.
Oh, hold on. I just have to check your audio's working.
Okay.
Hold on. Asperger says, "Who is John? I can only hear Owen and some static sounds in the background." And he might be joking, but
okay, cool.
Okay, no, I think Asperger is kidding.
Oh, okay. Don't scare us like that. We've had audio issues in the past.
Serving size 3 pieces.
Yeah, right.
They lie.
Like 3 bags.
I'm actually really enjoying the nutritional information on the back of here. Total fat, 0 grams, saturated. It doesn't have any fat, great. Amount per serving, 60 calories, which for 3 sweets is not terrible, not amazing. They're not exactly health food. But I like because they got to list everything. Cholesterol, 0. Sodium, 0. Total carbohydrates, 60%. Sugars, 20%. And that's nothing but sugar and root beer.
Well, that's the amount of sugar that you're supposed to have in a day.
Yeah.
So you've now consumed 20% of the sugar you were supposed to
Yeah,
eat all day.
I wish I hadn't had all that sherbet before I opened this. I think actually one granule of sherbet is worth 3 sugars.
So there was another reason why I sent this parcel. Now it is not today, I've been informed, but we are around Owen's birthday.
It's coming up. If it had been any later, it would have been even closer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how time works.
I wanted to, send my
Aww.
buddy a little gift,
Well, thank you.
sing him a little happy birthday song, Happy birthday, Mr. Owen. Happy birthday to you.
I think you're trying Marilyn Monroe, but you sound like Trump. As if like, President Kennedy.
No, that's what I was going for.
Got a song. I think the sexiest person today should sing President Trump a song. So here I go. How many did I eat? Just one. It took me. They're boiled sweets, the root beer barrel, so it took me a little bit too long. I'm gonna have a little drink.
I mean, I always picture Trump, in a white dress with air blowing up underneath him.
So do I, but the air's going fast enough that he's achieving liftoff and hitting orbit.
I'm the first man in space.
I'm gonna be
the
first man into space without a helmet.
I am the Space Force.
Teddy Bear Secret says, "Happy birthday, Owen." Yes, it's not quite yet. It's a day. Tuesday. Wednesday. I don't know. What day is it? Hold on. What day's the 4th? I know the date of my birthday, but yeah, it's Tuesday. Tuesday's my birthday. Alright, shall I go for the next thing?
I like how Owen has gone through great length to not tell everyone the birthday and just revealed it to everyone.
Oh, I don't really mind. Alright, I'm going for the next thing in here. This feels...
Alright.
I'm not looking at it yet. It feels powdery. It's... Oh, hello. It's... Sorry, that was a bit loud, wasn't it? It's McCormick's sausage flavor country gravy mix. And I think I can guess why you sent me this, right?
Yes. So there is another thing in there that should go with that.
I think I can
guess.
This
is what I'm super excited
I think
for.
I can guess what this is.
You can't eat this on stream. It's going to take a little preparation.
Challenge accepted.
This isn't good at all. This gravy packet right down the gullet, just
unopened. Okay, so I'm gonna peek in the box because I think I know what's gonna go with this one. Here it is.
While he's doing that, Asperger Bear says, "Oh, and I bought a cosplay costume today. Spock from Voyage Home with robe, wig, and ears. That's awesome.
Isn't that just like a toga?
Like, isn't that just like a bathrobe? Like,
yeah. So what we have here is some Bisquick complete biscuit mix, which is apparently buttermilk variety. Is that like a type of biscuit?
Yeah.
And some mix for some gravy so that I can prepare my very own biscuits and gravy in keeping with the show. This apparently makes 2 cups of gravy. Okay, this is cool. So for people who don't know, our show is called Those Aren't Biscuits because in Britain and America, biscuits refers to a very different thing.
Yep.
And, well, I couldn't really do the same thing as you, could I? Because they have cookies there. We just call them biscuits, you know?
Right.
But we don't really have these.
And there are cookies here that just refer to themselves as biscuits as well. They're like very like harder, like shortbread cookies around here.
Do not eat raw biscuit dough, it says on the back.
Lies.
No como la masa para biscuits cruda. Fair enough. You said it better than I ever could.
Goes, how do you Americans live like this? Well, deliciously. So,
yeah, this is heat the oven to 450 Fahrenheit. I'll have to look up what that is. Lightly grease a cookie sheet or use cooking spray. I'm not just read the cooking screen. So that is something I will prepare those in
Mm-hmm.
time for Monday. How about that? And I will describe them
Okay.
to you. See how they turned out. So, have you made these from the pack before?
Oh yeah. Oh
Would
yeah.
would
It's pretty simple shit. It's pretty much just add water.
would you say
And you,
they are authentic to the true biscuit experience?
they're gonna be close enough.
Cool.
No, like if you go to a restaurant, you're not gonna eat biscuits made from a powder.
No.
But they're gonna be pretty close.
See, I'm interested in the gravy because, of course, we have gravy here. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's a special type of gravy. That's country gravy.
Ooh. So, so the gravy that you have with biscuits and gravy is not the type of gravy you would just have with, say, some roast beef.
No, God, no. That's like a brown gravy.
Right. Cool. I was worried because whenever I see gravy, when people talk about biscuits and gravy, it looks like white sauce. It looks like bread sauce, you know?
Yeah, it's a white gravy, and generally, it's made with like breakfast sausage. Fry up some breakfast sausage, throw it in the gravy, mix it in together.
I'm guessing that's. Oh yeah, see, I'm looking at the instructions here. It's just add water. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will not prepare these on the show because that would be weird. So I will attempt to prepare those maybe in time for the next show, and I'll just tuck in and eat them live. I probably won't be doing that.
They are delicious. I mean, biscuits and gravy is literally one of my favorite breakfast foods. It is a breakfast food usually.
So I hear that biscuits are a little bit like what we would call dumplings. Is that true? Would you say?
I would say yeah. They're probably closer than cookies, but dumplings are also kind of not the same.
Okay.
Biscuits generally air up a little bit. They're real airy, I guess. They're lighter. Dumplings, well, at least for me, dumplings are always a little bit more dense.
Okay. No, that's true. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I move on to the next item then? Should we do it?
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah.
Okay, well, this doesn't feel like a food item. This is, oh, it's a little, it is the most, at first I was like, oh, it's a little car, and then I realized it was a car that could only come from America.
So this is one that I was actually having a little, and I had some assistance with, all right? Because there was two cars I kind of wanted to send you, all right? One or two. It was either this one, or I found a Hot Wheels of a van that was shaped like Thanos. Which I'm like, that's funny, but there's something about sending Owen the most ridiculously patriotic paint job car I could find. U.S.
So this is a Hot Wheels from the Stars and Stripes series.
Yeah.
And it has Stars and Stripes on it. It's a 1967 Pontiac GTO, which is a nice car. It's very, very pleasant.
Oh, yeah. It's a good little muscle. I want to say that might be the same car and year that Triple X used in the first Triple X movie.
Ooh, well, that would make sense. Yeah. What is great, though, however, is if you turn around to the bottom, you can clearly see Made in Malaysia on the on the base, which is quite entertaining. This is apparently 06 of 10 of the Stars and Stripes series. There's quite a lot of them. I think it's celebrating 50 years of Hot Wheels. So they were like, yeah, America.
Well, like it didn't used to be like this. When I was a kid with Hot Wheels, like it was just kind of like Hot Wheels, and then there'd just be 1,000, different Hot Wheels for that year.
Right.
And then if there was like a movie that came out, there would be like a small series with those. Like, when like the original Batman movies came out.
Right.
Like, we have like the Batmobile and the Joker van or some bullshit like that. And and I want to say it's probably keeping in line with how collectibles have changed over the years, but now Hot Wheels does all these series, like these limited series. So they have like the Marvel series, and like there was a Black Panther car and Captain America and Thanos and everything like that. And then there was the Stars and Stripes, and then there was actually British Motors series, and it was like a lot of like Jags.
See, we have similar things with Hot Wheels at the moment, but they tend to be in movies cars that look like characters. So like when Star Wars came out again, there was a Yoda car and a C-3PO car, and that all sold in a pack that is unbelievably expensive for toy cars.
Right. And see, the thing is, they don't really sell them as like complete packs so much, but you have to individually buy them, which like I don't like. Okay, it's kind of uncouth, but like that car I sent you was $4.
Right.
I know you're not supposed to tell someone the gift that you sent and how much, but yeah, that was $4. So if I wanted to get that whole series, each one is $4. And what was he say? It was one of 16?
10. Just 10.
10?
So $40.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are 69 Dodges. No, not exactly the same one. A Dodge Charger and a Dodge Coronet Super B, but you know what I mean? They couldn't even.
Those are very different cars, actually.
I don't care.
Just saying.
See, in this country, it was Matchbox. Matchbox with the big car brand when I was a kid.
We had those too.
I think Matchbox is actually a UK brand, and then Hot Wheels came over in the 70s, I guess. And Hot Wheels, Matchbox used to sell them in like big packs, and Hot Wheels like disrupted the market, and they were like the introducer of like the blister pack.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hot Wheels, I think is like the biggest brand over here as well now. Matchbox is gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the Yoda cars.
Like when I was looking at them, we have our Matchbox, and they do kind of the similar thing now, where they have the blister packs, and there was one per pack, but they are still primarily here's 20 cars.
Right.
We don't know exactly in this pack, but there's 20 of them here.
Enjoy.
And they're kind of, in my experience, I think Matchbox cars are not as well made as Hot Wheels.
I think they used to be. I think they just haven't been able to. I think they just haven't been able to keep up in recent years.
I think they accepted their role as the discount brand.
It's sad because I used to love Micro Machines, and it's tricky to explain to people when they first came out. You would not believe how amazingly well made they were. Micro Machines.
Oh yeah, they're really cool.
They were really good, and these days they're kind of cheap, which is a pity. But they were solid little Micro Machines and detailed. All right, so should we move into? I think I see 2 more items. Should we do this?
Yep.
All right, I see Sour Patch Kids. Now I think we might have these, but I've never had them.
So this is one where I think you mentioned that you might have those, but I went for the variant that you might not have.
Extreme.
Yeah. So
you just open them up. They're all into BDSM and.
You remember the one just punches you in the face?
Get back! Yeah, I don't think we have these. Now we do have something similar. I think here they're a like a variant of Jelly Babies.
Okay.
Which I loathe. So we'll have to see exactly how similar they are. All right.
I remember you mentioned that like sour candies aren't so big there.
Sour candies tend to be they tend to be short-lived variations of others. Does that make sense? So like they'll be around for a bit and then they tend to go away and come back. Like we had sour Skittles for a while, but they were like the last ones introduced and I haven't seen them in a while. Where's my scissors? It's not opening.
Those are good.
No, I agree. I happen to really like them, but they're not they're popular among kids. They don't tend to be very popular among adults, I think.
Right.
This American packaging is defeating my feeble British bones. We don't get enough sunlight for this. I've gone for the scissors.
I'm like, oh, it's that vitamin D deficiency.
Okay, well, these are not Jelly Babies, I can tell you that much.
Okay.
Alright, I've got an orange one.
No, they're Sour Patch Kids. It says right there on the package.
I have an orange one. And
okay.
The package leads me to believe they should have a face, but this one has no face.
Oddly terrifying.
Okay. That's quite nice. Chewing noises. That's quite good.
Yeah.
And it is sour. I'd say what I find about this so far. It doesn't seem like it's the kind where it's so extremely sour that you immediately go like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it also doesn't have like a huge amount of sweetness to back it up too.
Right.
So I feel like it's nice and sour, but it's not so bad that you couldn't like sit and eat a whole bag. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Although those are my go-to movie theater candy. Like I always eat Sour Patch Kids.
Specifically the extremes.
No, usually just normal.
See, I would have accepted.
I mean, when they say extreme, all that means is that they put more of that crystallized sugar on them. That's all that means.
Oh right, because I don't think they're much more I don't think they're much more sour than I would have expected from a sour candy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're pretty good though. I like these. These blue ones are good.
Yeah, those are actually my favorite. The blue ones.
Are they bubblegum?
No, I think they're supposed to be like blue raspberry, some bullshit like that.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well, the blue one's good. Oh, I'm gonna try a green one. Okay, whatever else is in the box is cancelled. These are too good.
So like those are pretty weak like sour candies. We do have way more potent sour candies, like Warheads are pretty ridiculous. But they're also hard candy. I didn't want to send you all hard candy.
Do you guys have time bombs there?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't know if they're candy.
When I was a kid, we used to have these things called time bombs. I don't know why they were called time bombs. I'm sure there were better names for them, but they were little packs of 5 gumballs that all looked the same, but then one of them would be like insanely sour.
Okay.
And you never knew which one. So like a roulette thing.
We had this a similar thing. They're called crybabies.
Right.
But there was no good gum. It was all sour. It was just like, fuck you, kid. Like,
these are nice, crybaby.
We are gonna wreck your taste buds. Like,
we have
there's candies that are so sour. I remember eating these as kids. I don't remember their name, but there was these candies. They were chewy, but they would straight up just numb your tongue. That's how sour they were. Like, you ate one, and it's like you ate nothing for the rest of the day because you couldn't taste it.
We have one like that called apple tarts, and they're apple flavored, and they are unbelievable. Like, finishing just one is sort of a chore a bit by the end, you know, like. No, you're right. None of these so far are bad, I would say. I like the root beer barrels.
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids are actually really good.
Like, that was the thing. Like, I didn't, like, I wanted to try to give you something that was terrible, but I just couldn't find anything.
I might still hate the biscuits. You never know.
Oh, good. You could. You won't.
Things,
They're delicious.
Things are looking up. It's No, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with them. So the last thing is, let's move on to the final one. The last thing is, it's Cheetos, but I appear to have some variant of Cheetos.
Yeah.
Flamin' Hot Chipotle Ranch Cheetos. Yeah. Guaranteed fresh until the printed date. It is actually the 28th of August, 2018. which was 2 days ago.
Damn it.
Which means anything I don't like about these can be blamed on the fact that John's sending me out-of-date food. That's...
No. There's so many chemicals in this.
You like open it up and you start getting younger as you inhale.
The Cheeto bag of Dorian Gray.
So Cheetos, like we've had these on and off over here. I think they've tried to launch them several times and they've never really taken off. But we do have something I think is similar called a What's It. Okay. So I'm gonna find out if they are at least the same as What's It's. All right, I'm opening up the Flaming Hot Chipotle Ranch Cheetos.
Now, what I want you to do is open them and then take a big sniff of the bag. All right.
Coming next week, John's tutorial on how to get chloroform into a sealed bag.
Unrelated.
Okay, here we go. The bag's open. Oh, what's weird is it sort of smells a lot, but not of anything. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of strange. Okay, so these are, like, perhaps we should have used video for this, because I can tell you right now, these are a shade of red that does not exist in nature.
So here's the thing about that that food coloring, right? As you eat that whole bag, they will absolutely dye your fingers red.
Oh, good.
Right? There's no way around it. Okay. Now, do you guys have Dawn dish soap over there?
No.
Okay. Well, Dawn dish soap is a very popular brand of dish soap over here, but their big claim to fame is that it is the go-to detergent that environmentalists use to wash crude oil off of like ducks and shit.
Of
during
course.
oil spills.
Yeah, what else would it be?
It doesn't take that dye off completely.
I look forward to this. All right, I'm going to attempt to go in for one.
Okay.
Okay, so actually, I can tell you already, these are not quite the same as What's Its give under the hand. You know what I mean?
Okay.
These are more like knickknacks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these are pretty good.
Okay. Oh man, you really like those? I thought you wouldn't like those.
Well, I will say this.
them.
I will say this. There is a strange sort of... The first flavor is so strong, and then the sort of second flavor you get as the middle is so... not strong that there's this weird, like, There is a bit of a sensation of, like, opening a gift and there being nothing inside every time you bite one. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, pretty good. Is this typical of like a puffed corn snack in the US?
No, Cheetos are a thing unto themselves. I mean, there's knockoff brands of that, but that is a Cheeto. It is described as nothing other than a Cheeto.
Because we obviously have stuff similar to this, but it's lighter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. We have like the puffs. Like Cheetos makes a brand of or a line of cheese puffs that are much airier. They're soft, and those are typically just called like cheese puffs.
Right.
Over here, but that specific shape and consistency, that is a Cheeto. No one would ever call it anything other than a Cheeto here.
I feel like I'm gonna break a tooth.
Oh yeah, they're rough. They will absolutely tear your mouth to pieces. It's
I quite like
Captain
them.
Crunch.
I quite like these. I'll tell you what I do like. So the flaming hot bit is fairly hot. You know, you can feel it build up as you eat more. Like, just one, you wouldn't really notice, but as you go, you start to become more aware of it. But the ranch element of it has the same sort of cooling effect as when you actually have something with a cooling dressing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not only can you taste it, but it does feel like it's moderating it out a bit, you know?
Now, those are not the typical Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And it was one of those things where, once again, I was under the impression that you probably had Flaming Hot Cheetos over there.
No, we don't have any Cheetos.
Oh, wow. Shit. Well, I should have just gave you the normal ones. But I went with the variant because I didn't think that the variant had crossed over. Especially since, like, I don't know, like, is Chipotle really a thing over there? That's a more of a recent flavor sensation over here. Like, people have been putting Chipotle spice in fucking everything.
Chipotle's actually in the same sort of place here right now. 5 years ago, you'd have seen something that was Chipotle and you'd been like, what's Chipotle? You know what I mean? And now it's like, oh, Chipotle omelet, Chipotle... Yeah, it's becoming more common. I can't stop eating this.
It says, John thought Owen needed to see visit the dentist again.
Tiny Bit Secret says we've had them before. We've had Flaming Hot Cheetos before? Oh, we've had Cheetos before in this country. Yeah, we've had them before, but they come and go, you know?
Right. So I will say that the Flaming Hot Cheeto base or standard is it is I feel quite a bit spicier than the
Right.
ranch version.
I don't think I would care for those.
Right. But the problem is that it's not a spice that you can attribute to anything. You know, because like, okay, you can have like a spicy cinnamon thing, right? And you recognize that, okay, this is spicy because of the cinnamon.
Right.
Or you can have a peppery, spicy sort of thing. The spice that's on a Flamin' Hot Cheeto is 100% chemistry based and chemical, where it's like, we know that this chemical triggers the spice response on the tongue. So that's what we flavored it with. Not, oh, it's flavored with jalapeno pepper. No, it is flavored with sodium bisotine, you know, or something like that, you know.
I'm just sitting here wondering how good these would have tasted 2 days ago. Connect with Chester Cheetah. I'll get right on that, Chester. Let me follow you on Instagram.
Now, the thing about Cheetos is they're actually the type of snack that I actually prefer to eat stale.
Oh, like a few days softened a bit.
Yeah. So what I'll generally do, I'll get the big bag. And I'll eat half of them the first day, then wrap it up and then throw it on top of my fridge till the next day. Because it literally only takes like 1 day for those things to go stale. In fact, you might be able to get away with like 8 hours. And but then I eat them. I do the same thing with popcorn a lot of times. Like I like popcorn that's stale.
I can't do that. It depends on the popcorn, but particularly if it's had like a glaze on it, I can't do it the next day. It has to be fresh.
Glaze? What?
Don't you get popcorn that has like a crunchy coating?
Oh, sure. Like a caramel corn?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sort of thing. Okay.
We get stuff like that, but we do.
I mean like just basic movie theater buttered popcorn.
Okay.
Like,
so when I was a kid, we had a the supermarket I used to go to. They started doing popcorn. It was one of those things where you could get it at the cinemas, but you didn't really tend to get it at home very often. And then suddenly, my local supermarket started doing it. But the versions they started doing had these. Pardon me, I'm getting a Cheetos burp. Enjoy this. Oh, hello. There's root beer.
Yeah, all this is gonna come back later to haunt you.
Just I can imagine. Know. So, the popcorn they started doing was these these big bags of these weird fruit glazes. So it'd be like a sort of like a sugar coating, but like when you get like the caramel popcorn, but sort of drier, if you know what I mean, because it was just like fruit flavoring.
Sure.
In like blueberry, raspberry. No, I think they did a lemon one once.
Yeah, a lot of time like green apple.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot.
It was so good.
We have stores, oddly enough, like little boutique stores that just do what they call gourmet popcorn, which is basically just popcorn with all that fucking flavor syrup just coated on it. But they go nuts, you know, where it's like, oh, I've had root beer flavored popcorn, and I've had grape and the green apple, and then like goes real nuts. Like I had one that had, I think it was like beef or something like that. It was gross. It was really not good.
Well, have you ever seen the YouTube channel Ashens, where he gets sent products and he reviews them?
No.
He's got a funny channel. He just reviews things on his couch. But somebody sent him a bag of bacon flavored popcorn you do in the microwave.
Ugh.
And it looked like the worst stuff.
Yeah, that bacon thing needs to die. Like, I feel like it has in a weird way.
Yeah.
But that was definitely like an internet thing, right? Where it's like, we're gonna put fucking bacon on everything,
right?
And
it's one of those things where people haven't
like
realized.
Now,
right? It's one of those things where people haven't realized that an ironic joke on the internet isn't actually a foundation for a business among normal people.
Right. Like, so one of the things that I actually wanted to send, but I kind of thought better of it, was like Lay's has been doing these like weird flavor combinations that are suggested by the fans.
Yeah, we get those.
And there was a biscuits and gravy one. And I thought about sending it, but the thing was, I had never tried it myself. So I'm like, it's kind of a...
We had one of those a few years ago, and one of the suggestions was roadkill squirrel.
What was it?
Roadkill squirrel.
Huh.
Yeah.
Ours are pretty good over here.
Well, I think he was trying to suggest something absolutely ridiculous. The sad thing was, it was delicious.
Good.
Like, I don't know how they were designing the flavor. I guess they just tried to pick something like maybe... I guess they probably started with a flavor like rabbit, you know?
Right. Probably something like a meat, basic.
Right. Same one they had... One other one they had that year was English breakfast. As in a breakfast, not the tea. And when you opened it up, the bag just stunk of egg. It just stunk like if you told me people from Walker's Crisps were just farting in the bags as they went past, I would have believed you.
See, okay, I remember the first round over here was chicken and waffles.
Yum.
It's actually not a bad combo, like actual chicken and waffles, because it's a waffle, with syrup and butter and everything.
How'd you get the chicken in the iron?
But then it's a piece of fried chicken next to it.
That sounds pretty good.
It's actually pretty good. But yeah, that combo was all right. It tasted just more like sugar than anything else, or like the syrup. That was the main flavor that came through.
That's often what you get. That's often what you get when you get these things, isn't it? They'll just actually have a flavor that's not even the flavor of the thing that's listed, but just a flavor you associate with that thing.
Right.
Like whenever you get lamb flavored crisps, it's usually just mint. Any meat flavor and then just mint, you know?
Mm-hmm. What was the other one? We had garlic cheese toast. That was all right.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I think that's the one that won the first and then there was what was like there was a sriracha one, because like sriracha was Chipotle before Chipotle was Chipotle.
Right. Yeah.
And so of course there was a sriracha flavor one. I don't like sriracha. I think it's a shitty sauce. In all honesty. So I never tried that one. But then there's been other ones, like they got the biscuits and gravy one now, and there was a pesto flavored one that was all right.
I'm not a huge fan of pesto.
Oh, I love pesto.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I have good taste.
Tiny Bit Secret says there's a chicken waffle place opening in my city soon. I'm gonna go. I think I've never had it.
Oh wait, are you suggesting, Owen, that you are anti-pesto?
No, well done. Well.
Wait, you guys are having a chicken and waffle place open up over there?
According to Tiny Bit Secret, she is. I don't know what city she's in, so who knows? So the zombie says there's a bacon flavored soda. Yeah, I mean, I think hell has all kinds of foods and drinks.
So okay, I'm gonna throw this now to the chat for a little bit. If anyone's there, what sort of if you were to send Owen something, assume that you're not UK or whatever, or okay, I'm American, Owen is British, so based on where you're from, what would you send one of us?
Note, answering this question constitutes a verbal contract. Doesn't. That was a joke. I usually like that the Cheetos were a brighter shade of red than on the red, white, and blue stars and stripes on the Hot Wheel.
Well, I mean, the red on the flag is supposed to represent the blood spilled during the Revolutionary War
by Chester Cheetah during the
yeah. So if someone ever was cut open and their blood was that shade of red, I'd have some real big questions.
Just 1,000 Americans lapping it up. Come on, you can really taste the ranch. Nah.
It has a cooling effect.
Like Like We Happy Few. You haven't had your joy!
Oh, have you heard? Like, people hate that game.
Yeah, I saw this funniest glitch. Because apparently it's buggy as all hell. Someone was just
Right.
looking at a guy on a bench, and then he sat down, but the character just went off at a 45-degree angle from the bench. He just still sat down. He just veered off. And then he went around in a little circle, and then he veered back to the bench, all without, like, getting out of the sitting down animation. He just went on a little float around town. The other thing is, apparently it uses like randomly generated people as you're wandering through the town, right?
But aren't all the models the same? Like, all
Right,
the
there's like 5 different people, and most of them are pretty indistinct. But there's one that's like a 3-foot tall little old lady in a hat. And I watched a video of someone walking down the street and seeing her 8 times.
So your Tiny Best Secret says, I would send John some Krispy Kreme popcorn since he doesn't know about glaze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teach me about the glaze.
Do you guys have the Krispy Kreme popcorn there in the US? That's something they've added here recently.
I don't know if it's necessarily
Ooh, someone's popular.
Someone's trying to call me.
Yeah, screw those guys.
I don't know if it's so much a Krispy Kreme. Like, we have Krispy Kreme over here, of course. I've never had the Krispy Kreme popcorn.
So when Krispy Kreme opened up here, it tried to open itself up as like a luxury brand, like a you know, like when it's trying to go for like a nostalgia brand, even though you've never heard of them before, you know? So when you go to Krispy Kreme, there's the whole thing of you get the donuts, and you could look at the little window and see them all being made as they go past. You guys, I don't know if you guys have that at your Krispy Kremes, but it's like going to the Krispy Kreme museum every time you go. There's like the little whole thing. And then when you get to the end by the counter, there's like, would you like to buy some Krispy Kreme cufflinks? Perhaps a toy car in the shape of a Krispy Kreme delivery van. Stationery, handsome Krispy Kreme stationery for your office, maybe. And one of the things they sell there is Krispy Kreme popcorn with original glazed donut glaze on it.
Sounds all right.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. It sounds pretty good. I just like the idea of them expanding into a new country and being like, look, it's us, Krispy Kreme.
You know us. Come on. Remember those good times we had?
Right.
No?
Well, it is like the Werther's Original thing. You know Werther's Original, right?
I know Werther's. We go no.
And they advertise with. Do you have Werther's Original there? I think.
Oh yeah.
And they advertise with
the old person candy.
Right, but they advertise with the old man in the in the advert. It was like, when I was a boy. But my granddad used to give me Werther's Original. But they expanded into they were from Germany, that company, and they expanded into the US and to the UK in the 90s with those adverts. Yeah. So I watched an advert for Werther's Original once. There was a comment on YouTube that said, "Oh, your granddad used to give you Werther's Original, did he, Adolf?" Someone's got a little bit of a secret identity, eh?
So I remember when those ads started coming out, and me being, a kid, I remember asking my dad, I was like, so did you eat these when you were a kid? He's like, I've never heard of these things in my life.
It is an interesting marketing strategy to be like, if your granddad didn't give you these, he didn't love you. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like, nostalgia-based marketing only works if the nostalgia actually fucking exists. It's like if Parma Violets decides to expand into the U.S. It's like, oh, remember the days of yore, when the Queen's Golden Jubilee happened, and and we survived the Blitz. And,
right. But the real strange thing is,
first episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah. The strange thing is,
You know,
though, look at...
nothing else important happened on that day.
Where were you the day Doctor Who had?
For those of you who don't understand that joke, the day that the Doctor Who premiered was the same day JFK got shot in Dallas.
And actually, they repeated it. The BBC wasn't in the practice of doing repeats then, but instead of showing the next episode, the next episode the week after, they showed the first episode again because the general consensus was that it aired right after the news, and so they just went, you know what? Nobody probably saw that. Everyone's there watching episode 2 going, this is strange with all the cavemen. I thought the president got shot last week. When are they going to pick up with that plot?
Right. Where was the doctor when that happened? But yeah, so out of what you had, what did you like the most and like the least?
Well, given that they're also available here, I must admit, I'm sad that I really did like the Sour Patch Kids as much, that much, but I did. But I've never had them before, and they were great. I actually really do like the Cheetos. I would say, like the least, probably the root beer barrels, but that's because I just don't eat a lot of hard candy. I don't got time for that. I don't got time to be sucking on a hard candy. I've got streams to do. For the next 6 weeks, all you'll be hearing is like, wow, boys and girls. Oh, root beer. Delicious. Welcome to...
Now, okay, I'm kind of curious, because we've discussed this before. Is that hard candy similar to what you would call a boiled candy?
Yes. That's what we call a boiled sweet.
Okay.
Because you make them by boiling down the sugar.
Yeah.
I guess.
Which is a terrible name for... like, adding boiled to something does not make it more appetizing.
It's so weird, too, because I would imagine in the production of something like Sour Patch Kids and stuff, at some point you boil down the sugar, right? Like...
Right.
I think it's a very old term, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because
whenever I hear the term boiled sweet or boiled candy or whatever, all I can think about is that fucking Lonely Island song.
Boiled goose. Yeah.
Like, that sounds... Oh, God, that sounds so gross.
I know.
Boiled meat in general kind of sounds terrible.
Boiled sausages work pretty well, actually.
Oh, sure. And that's it.
And that's because they're in, like, a skin, you know?
Right. Like, that line of discussion ends there.
I think it depends.
What kind of meat is good cooked in hot boiling water? Hot dogs. Anything else? Nope.
A chicken breast fillet's okay. If you're after a really mild version, you know?
No, I'm not in it. Like, to me, if I'm gonna have a chicken breast, it's either
bacon.
Fried or baked.
Bacon. Boiled bacon.
Well, and then when you're done, you can drink the water.
I think that's how you get gum, isn't it? Boiling bacon.
Not too far off, I think, actually. Because isn't gum, or I guess it used to be, probably not anymore, but one of the major components of gum, or like gelatin in general, was pig fat.
I thought gum was made from a tree. I thought gum was made from like a sap tree.
A pig tree.
A pig tree. Maybe that's an old thing.
Yeah, when you go to chop it down, it's like squeak. Just
oh no, like gums in other contexts are made from from thing, and then there used to be an old type of chewing gum that was made from trees, but not for a long time.
Right. I mean, that's just too damn hard to produce. You know, if you have to chop down a tree every time you want to make a pack of gum, like.
Right. That was the cause of deforestation.
Gum.
Wrigley's.
It's that damn girl from Willy Wonka.
Chop him down. She's still just rolling around like a blueberry. I want to be able to roll through this forest to pick up some speed.
I mean, the funny thing is, when she does like balloon up like that, she does kind of look like Sonic the Hedgehog when he's spinning. That's the mod I want to see. I want to see Sonic Mania, except with Violet from Willy Wonka.
You didn't really find out what happened to those kids.
They died. They all fucking died. There's no way. Like, the only one who might have lived, but they're not happy anymore, is the kid who got turned like real small. We see him alive.
Mike
right?
TV.
We see him, yeah. We see him alive, all right? But that's it. Like, he's now that size for the rest of his damn life. He will never experience the touch of a woman. He will never, like, I mean, he probably did die because you can't really like eat. You know?
He died the first time he attempted to digest particles at the normal size. You mean?
Right.
All the chemical reactions just didn't work anymore. The first time he tried to digest something, it created some kind of like gas exchange. He just
right, and people are like, well, he'll just eat a smaller amount. That's not how that works. Like, like he's that small. But in comparison to the molecules, like, they haven't changed.
Right, because a mouse is, the same size molecules, but a smaller animal made with those molecules. He presumably now has smaller molecules. Therefore, he's trying to eat bigger ones.
I mean, in all reality, he actually destroyed the universe.
Every time he eats something, it's like splitting the atom.
Well, no, because like one of the main premises of like physics and stuff like that is that matter cannot be, you cannot have any more or less atoms in the world. You can't create more or any less.
It is worth mentioning, though, that this is never a plot that they did on Star Trek. They did so much stuff of like, oh, he went through the transporter and he came out evil. Or he went through the transporter and he came out young. They never went, oh, he went through the transporter and he came out 7 feet tall. Because we just scaled it wrong. Like a minor tweak in the projection. And he just was big now. That'd been an interesting plot. If for about 6 months, every time they'd use the transporter, it had been making them a fraction of an inch taller, and they didn't notice. And then they got back to the space dock, and they were all just really big. And the whole time they've been going, are these chairs just less comfy than they used to be? Am I bumping my head on this?
No, what I want to see is Picard going, number one, what do you feel about this situation? And it's just a giant image of his foot superimposed over the chair. I don't know. This seems like a bad idea.
Davey! Counselor Troy, he's definitely getting bigger. No, Captain, it's just you. You were smaller when he came on board, and like a Cadbury cream egg.
Like, are you suggesting that I didn't recognize the giant foot sitting next to me the whole time? It's side effects from your time with the Borg?
And then Wesley hobbles in with his cane and his beard. I'm telling you, Captain, something's very wrong.
Now, hold on. He was a child. He was a child. No, Captain. He has a advanced aging thing because of warp speed?
Captain, puberty can be very distressing for a boy. By calling attention to it in this way, you may be emotionally crippling him. But he's 93! Captain, save me! Oh, have we lost John? You still with us, John?
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, whew, I was worried. I wasn't hearing the usual peals of laughter we get when I make a joke. It was distressing.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so I'm very looking forward to trying the biscuits and gravy. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm. That's what I'm most excited about, hearing what you feel about that. Because I mean, that's no joke. That's the basis of our show. So
absolutely. So I've actually got to finish up. I don't know about you.
No, I do.
But we'll be doing a full and wonderful episode of this on Monday. And
that's right. And you can catch us at 4:00 Central Time, or was it 10 now for you?
Yeah, it's 10 at the moment.
Yep. 10 UK time.
Have you heard the latest Brexit news, by the way?
Yeah. You guys are becoming more and more like the United States as this Brexit thing goes on, right? Like, yeah, so we're all going to give up daylight saving times? No. We're not.
So the funny thing is, one of the oldest and most respected advocates for leaving the European Union is a guy called Peter Hitchens. He's actually Christopher Hitchens' brother, but he differs from him very politically.
No relation.
No relation. He's been campaigning for decades to leave the European Union. He's also been campaigning for decades to get rid of the clock change. And he's been saying that the clock change has been... He basically says that it's unnecessary and it's a waste of time, and it was imposed on us by Europe to try and bring our time closer to Germany, because Europe is a German imperialist project. And now they're just getting rid of it. They're just getting rid of it.
I mean, like, when it first started, it had its merits. Like, there was a legitimate reason for doing this.
Right.
That ended in 1890. Like,
when we invented the light bulb. Yeah. Well, Brexit's dumb. Have you heard this thing about the satellite guidance system? Just one last note here.
Oh, yeah, that British can't use it anymore?
Yeah, but we were a major driver in the project, so we're all very upset that we can't use it anymore. But the reason we can't use it anymore is because when we were major drivers of the project, the EU put a thing out saying, all right, so when we finish this, should we just make it so anybody can use it? Or just EU members? And Britain was like, no, just EU members. We were major people pushing for that. Now we're on the outside, we can't use it, which is funny.
I mean, I know it was a referendum and everything like that, but surely we're getting to the point now where it's just not going to happen, right?
Well, no. So here's the thing. None of the people who are responsible for making it happen are going to be hit by the economic consequences when it does happen. In fact, one of the major people who was pushing for it to happen has moved all his business interests to Ireland, so he won't be hit by it when it happens. So, essentially, there's enough political consequence for stopping it from people who are still very stupid and very loud that if you go through with it, you get to say, well, it wasn't our choice, there was a referendum. If you go against it, you might have some fallout, and they can afford it. So, I mean, it was looking for a long time like it just wouldn't happen, but now it just looks like it will happen because all the people involved are just too stubborn to let it go. Basically.
Good.
Oh, I know. It's a disaster. I had a guy in my chat the other day said it was great, though, because the EU were going to ban memes. That's the level of discourse we're on online.
So you're saying that, you know, before Brexit, the British people were Drake with his hand up, and then after Brexit, were Drake with a thumbs up, you know?
Absolutely. Unbelievable. All right, well, I've really got to get out of here, so do you want to see us out?
All right. Yeah. Thank you for joining us on this very special gastronomical experience. And tune in on Monday for our full show where we talk about pop culture stuff.
Yay, do it.
Until then, I've been one of your hosts, Jonathan Cadat, and with me as always has been Owen Adams. Owen, where can they find you?
Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Owen Adams. That's pretty much it.
Nice. And you can find me on Twitter, which is @JohnCPerson, or you can follow this channel right here. This is where I'm putting all my content, right here at Not Biscuits. So until next time, have a good one.
Bye-bye.